Hi, I'm Lyle, and this is the Abecedary. The Abecedary is a comic based on definitions and quotations from the Oxford English Dictionary. Today's word is earless, adjective and noun, having no ears, of humans and animals. The quotation for today's words comes from Wits, fits, and fancies fronted and intermeddled with precedents of honor and wisdom, also love's owle, an idle, conceited dialogue between love and an old man, Rectus Securus, by Anthony Copley from 1595. Here is a passage from the work containing the word earless. Of noblemen and ambassadors. Don John, first Duke of Medina Sidonia, being advised by his treasurer that his expenses were most excessive, and his gifts all too liberal, he answered, I will have the glory of my house known to the world, not by possessing much treasure, but by expending much treasure. Don Frederick of Toledo, Duke of Alua, being besought unto by a poor widow gentlewoman to prefer with his liberality her daughter in marriage, he was easily inclined so to do, whereupon he willed his treasurer to give her 100 marks. The treasurer mistook the duke, and he gave her 100 pounds, who shortly after coming to give up his accounts to his lord, this 100 pounds came then into sight. Whereunto the duke accepted, and said, Why, I awarded but 100 marks. The treasurer had then no other shift, but to say that his ears mistook his honour's pleasure. Nay, replied the duke, rather do I thank God that he hath afforded thee better ears than me a good tongue, and so he passed the account for current. A plain countryman came to demand justice of the Lord High Constable of Castile, and thus he said, I am come to crave justice of your worship. I beseech your excellence to dispatch me, for I am a poor man, my lord, and unless your reverence favor my case, I am utterly undone. I pray your good mastership to be good to me, and I will truly pray God to bless your Altezes whiles I live. The constable hereat broke forth a-laughing, and said, This poor swine will be sure to hit me either high or low. The said Lord Constable of Castile, lying on his deathbed, his treasurer came unto him, and besought him to forgive him the value of 1,100 pounds, whereof he had defeated him in his former accounts. I do, said the constable, and I wish it were 20 millions more, that I might as freely forgive thee at all, as I pray God to forgive me all. The fortress of Betrago, by negligence, was set on fire and burnt down to the ground. The Duke of Infantasco, being thereof lord, the captain of the place, was the first man that had brought the Duke news of the mischance, beseeching his Altez that after seeing it happen through his mere default, he would sever his detested head from his shoulders for an example to all careless captains ever after. Then the Duke asked him whether his nets and toils which he had there for dear were also perished with the fire. He answered, No, my lord, they are safe. That's well, said the Duke. As for the fortress, I tell thee, captain, take no care, for I did mean to have raised it long ago. A poor gentleman of the country had bred up a horse to the perfection of a dainty good one, insomuch that he made an account to be a great gainer thereby, and upon diligent inquiry after a good copsemate, he understood that the Duke of Infantasgo would out of doubt give him more for it than any in all the country besides, so greatly that Duke delighted in choice of good horses. To him then this gentleman needs would with his horse, and travelling on the way, the weather being extreme hot, and the horse no less fat and foggy, with overmuch former ease, fell down and died. The gentleman nevertheless got the horse flayed, and carried the skin to show the Duke, and said unto him, Your honour may judge by this skin what a goodly horse it was, and God is my judge, my lord, I was bringing him to offer unto your lordship before all others. Gramercy, said the Duke, but tell me, what did you value the horse at? Believe me, my lord, he answered, not under 100 pounds could have bought him off me. With that, the Duke commanded his treasurer to give the poor gentleman 200 pounds, and said unto him, I give you these 200 pounds as a charge, that through your default you never suffer any so gallant horse miscarry any more so mischanceable under your hands. Sir Thomas More wanted to say that a liar as a liar resembled counterfeit coin, and in his other vices is like to light coin. A pickthank told Don Lopez de Haro that such a one had greatly misused him in terms behind his back, advising him to revenge the injury highly, whereupon Don Lopez answered, Now I give God thanks, that though he be able to speak ill of me, yet hath he not the power to hurt me. The Earl of Renia, meeting an archbishop in the street, saluted him with all due reverence, and the prelate but slightly resaluted him, touching only his hat brim, which the Earl, noting, stepped to one of his gentlemen and told him, It seems your lord is either bald, mangy, or earless, that he dares not venture off his hat, for fear belike to have to see it. The Earl of Renia, being to send a letter to a fair lady, was desirous to make proof of the bearer's sufficiency as concerning his due performance of the ceremony thereunto belonging. And he called unto him a new page of his, and said, Sirrah, I am to send you forthwith with a letter to a very fair lady. Let me see how well you can do your message. Imagine that I am she, and here hold the letter, and get you gone out at yonder door, and then come in again, and let me hear what you will say. The page took the letter, went forth, and came in again, and being come somewhat near the Earl, he doffed his hat, and downed his knee, and kissed the letter, and gave it him, saying, Madam, my Lord of Renia greets your ladyship, and hath sent you this letter. The Earl at this instant his hand was in his codpiece, and stood stooping, and thus he answered, Welcome, my lad, and how fareth my lady the Countess? The page answered, Well and like, your honour. And the Earl, How fareth his lord? What is he now a-doing? He answered, My lord is likewise well, madam. His hand in his codpiece, all to be scratching somewhat.